What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay from Real Sports Talk, and today I want to talk about Christian Kirk from the Arizona Cardinals possibly being traded to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, with this trade, with these rumors of a trade, I also heard a name like Marquise Goodwin. To speak on that real quick, I like Marquise Goodwin as a football player. I like his speed. I like his versatility. But the problem is he's not really ever healthy like that. And even when he is healthy, he isn't really a difference, like a impact player on your team. He's good. He can have some really good plays. And if he was healthier, maybe he's a way more valued commodity than he is now. But he just gets injured a little too much for me. And like I said, even when he's on the field, he is healthy. His impact isn't really as great as you would believe it should be, especially with the offense that he played in last year. But that's all I'm gonna speak on Goodwin. I really wouldn't want a guy like Marquise Goodwin because, like I said, what can Goodwin give me that a guy like Tavon Austin can't? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that. You know what I mean? But moving on from that, I want to talk about Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk, in my opinion, was a guy that I liked a lot coming out of college in the last year's draft when we drafted Van Der Esch. I liked him a lot coming out of college. He was one of the better receivers, in my opinion. He's a really talented guy, really good, really fast, like a speedy guy, which the Cowboys could use. We could use a speedster. He can play slot really well in the slot. He's a good route runner. He produced down there in Arizona. I don't know for sure if they're trading him. You hear things like he may be on a trade block. Only reason why I think they would trade him is possibly because DeAndre Hopkins being there. You got Fitz, and they may be thinking about drafting another wide receiver. They just maybe feel like, hey, this wide receiver room is a little crowded, or they may not feel like they don't need much from Christian Kirk. Or they may feel like, hey, if Dallas Cowboys can give us a third-round pick for a guy like Christian Kirk, maybe we move Christian Kirk and we just draft the receiver because this receiver class is so deep that maybe you can get another Christian Kirk in the third round. Not to diminish his talent, but at the same time, you got to understand this receiver class is so deep that it's veteran receivers or young receivers that could be moved just because of how deep this class is and how many studs are in this receiver class in this coming year. So, in my opinion, should the Cowboys go after and should the Cowboys try harder or try to commit themselves to getting a guy like Christian Kirk? Well, I'm kind of undecided about it because I like Christian Kirk. I've seen his highlights and his film, but at the same time, it's like this. Do I think Christian Kirk, in my opinion, is better than something that is somebody you can get at 17? Do I feel like he's better than what Justin Jefferson could be day one? Do I think he's better than what Henry Ruggs could be? I don't believe so. Like, it may take a little bit more time and a little bit more watching of like film and highlights and stuff like that. But as of right now, I don't really feel like if I get a report or an alert that, hey, Christian Kirk is a Dallas Cowboy, that I'm going to be jumping up and down for joy like I would if at the 17th pick you draft Henry Ruggs or Justin Jefferson. And the reason because of that is simple. I've seen what Christian Kirk has been able to do in the NFL. And yes, it has been good, but it hasn't been great. And when you look at a guy like a Henry Ruggs who may fall to a 17 pick, or you don't know who you get at 17 pick out of those first three, the Judys and the CDs and Henry, you could get one of those guys, and all three of those guys can be special from the jump. Maybe they're not special, but at least you've seen what you've seen with your own eyes from their tape in college and their film, that they have ability to all be special in the NFL. And I feel like, in my opinion, that, just going off of what I've seen from them in college, I think that they have a lot more promise to be more resourceful and better players than what Christian Kirk can give you right now. Also, with a guy like Justin Jefferson, maybe you can say Christian Kirk is better than Justin Jefferson, and I wouldn't be mad at you for saying that. But at the same time, Justin Jefferson has proven that he's a really good receiver. It's been people that have said that that Jefferson is better than Judy at the receiver position. Now, I may not be one of those people that agree with that per se, but I really do think he's in that top tier with those guys in terms of the receiver. He can catch the ball. He can run routes. He doesn't do anything great, but he does a lot of things good, which you can use in a receiver like that. And you got to understand, he will be coming into a system where he's not considered the number one guy. He's not even considered the two guy, which would be great for any of these stud wide receivers. Could you imagine any of these receivers being coming into the league? All these guys are projected to be ones. if they go, most of these guys are projected to be ones in systems or twos. You know, you go into a system where they can be threes. So when I look at that from that perspective, and I look at a guy like Jefferson that might be at 17, I look at a guy like Rose that might be at 17. I don't know if you go Christian Kirk, because if you trade for Christian Kirk, then there's no reason for you to even go receiver at that spot. But then you miss out. Then maybe you miss out on one of those guys becoming great because you thought, let's just go for what we know can be productive for us. Now, can Christian Kirk still be a great player in this league? Yes. I'm not saying that he can't be, but what I'm saying is if you look at the upside and the guys who are coming out, that you could probably get to the 17 spot, you gotta have to have that cause for concern when you talk about a guy like Kirk. But at the same time, he is a good receiver. So it's kind of, I'm undecided about it. But either way it go, I would like the trade. I don't know if I would love it, because you are adding a guy that is fast, that can do the things that you need out of receiver that you don't have with Cooper and Gallup. That can do the jet sweeps and the end arounds and the screens and take them long ways, take them to the house. He can do the deep routes. He can be a deep threat. You know, he can add to your offense. He's a good route runner, so he can make your offense better. I don't know for a fact that he will be more productive than Randall Cobb was, because Randall Cobb was almost a 1,000-yard receiver, and that's another reason why I'm kind of doubtful. But if he can be, because he is faster and he is younger and he has been proven to be productive, if he can be a better guy, better than Cobb, be faster and more resourceful than Cobb, that makes your offense a lot better. You know what I mean? Especially with McCarthy coming in, and you know he's going to utilize the weapons that we have a little bit better than it was utilized when the previous coaching staff was down there. But like I said, y'all let me know how y'all feel about it, because I'm still a little undecided. But Christian Kirk to the Cowboys wouldn't be a bad move. I would like the move. I don't know if I would love it. And also, I will say this real quick, and I may make a video about this. The Cowboys should really look at receiver at 17, because I really feel like, yes, you may need a corner. You know what I mean? Yes, you may need, even though I feel like we don't really have a lot of needs at any position, but yes, you may think a safety is there. Yes, you may think you need a corner. Yes, you may think you need an edge rusher. But I guarantee you, if you look at how the Chiefs won that Super Bowl last year, they won it with their offense. They won it with their dominant quick score ability and their ability to have so many good receivers on the field at the same time. You know what I mean? And just with that, if you can use this Dallas Cowboys offense and you can strengthen this offense to be dominant like it was last season, but also have it to where you can manage the game instead of you being behind all the time, this offense can really be great. And I'd rather have a great offense and a good defense than have a good offense and a good defense, because that's all you're gonna get if you go corner at one, or you go edge at first round. So I wouldn't do that. But like I said, Christian Kirk will be a good move. I don't know for sure if it's a better move than drafting a receiver at 17. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. That's all I gotta say about it. Peace.